Hi everyone, welcome to the Laser Channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg, and in today's video, I'm checking out the Kortek Mini Laser Machine by Genmitsu. This is my first machine by Genmitsu, so I'm just excited to check this machine out as I am to create today's content for all of you. Let's get started by checking out the contents of the box. The box already looks like it's pretty big for being a smaller size machine, so fingers crossed that it's all pre-assembled so that we can get to today's sample project very quickly. All right, check this out. The Kortek laser machine comes all pre-assembled with only needing fitment of the laser module. Next up, let's take a close-up flyover of everything that's included with the machine. The user guide covers basic operations of the machine, different software packages that can be used. We'll cover that later on in this video. And there's a very nice section on material settings. To get started making projects, the Kortek comes with some 3mm bass plywood, craft paper, a brush, tools for basic maintenance of the machine, a marker, USB cable, USB card reader. The machine already has the card installed right here. Power pack. This is going to be 24 volts at 2.5 amps. There's no better safety than these safety glasses. Some focusing paper, which isn't needed on the module that I have because the 5-watt laser module I have has a focusing lever on the side. We'll check that out later on in the video. And of course, the laser machine itself. I've got some controls across the front of the machine. On the top panel, I have some access ports for different accessories. Motion is controlled with these nice rails. The rails are moved by these 3-wheel systems with that bottom wheel being adjusted, can be adjusted tighter or looser to make sure they have the proper motion and tightness down to the frame rail. The rail system for the laser module is going to be the same rail system that we see on the side here that is belt driven with these 3 wheels. This machine, being pint sized, is definitely going to be geared more towards the hobbyist and the beginner. There's a lot of accessories and different options when selecting out the Kortek machine. The options start with what power level the laser module comes in. There's 3 different flavors starting at a 2.5 watt. This is going to be a 5 watt, and there's also a powerful 10-watt laser module. If you like to do metalwork and color engraving, there's even a 2-watt IR module that fits the Kortek machine. Other accessories include Honeycomb and an air assist pump. 5-watt laser module. Here's the air assist nozzle already built in, and here's the air pipe that's already built into the laser module. While we're looking at the laser module, this orange shroud is going to cut down a lot of the blue laser scatter light that's emitted while making a project. When I take a look at the side, there's a little dial here. When I turn that, there's a tiny little leg that comes down. That is what I'm going to use when I set the focus. This is going to ensure that I get the perfect focus every time I go to make a project. Software. When it comes to running the machine, the Kortek machine has a variety of compatible software packages, starting out with the ever-popular Lightburn Software. Lightburn Software does cost money. It's a great package, but if you're looking at a budget machine, Lightburn might not be the way that you want to go. Instead, there's a number of other free options. There's laser Grbl software that's been on the market for a long time. And if you like mobile apps, Genmitsu has conveniently called the Genmitsu app for running the machine that utilizes all of the features that the machine is capable of. And there's one more software option called CutLabX. It looks very similar to Lightburn software. It is free. It does lack a lot of the advanced features that Lightburn Software has, but that also makes it really easy to use. And did I mention it's free? And it's also going to be the software that I'm going to be using in today's sample project. Before I jump into the computer and make a sample project, let's geek out over some of the features and specs on the laser machine. Let's start out with the work area. It comes in at 200 by 150 millimeters. In freedom units, that's going to be 7.8 by 5.9 inches. The Kortek will reach speeds of up to 5,000 millimeters per minute, which is 83 millimeters per second, which seems a little slow, but at 2.5 to 10 watts of power with a smaller work area and a very attractive price point, the speed makes sense. For safety, the Kortek is equipped with tilt protection, safety glasses, and all the different laser power options have a laser shield to reduce laser scatter light. Want to know more about the features and specs of the machine, the compatible accessories, and the software compatible with the machine? I'll have links down below for you to check out. Now, full transparency, if you do decide to purchase through those links, I earn a small commission at no cost to you. It's just one of the ways to help support the laser channel so I can continue making video content just like this for all of you. The other great way to help support this channel is to remember to like, subscribe, and share these videos. All right, we've seen the machine, I've talked about it, and now it's time to get it connected up to the computer using that free CutLabX software. Now, before we jump into the computer though, I am going to take a piece of aluminum sheet metal that I have and get that underneath the machine. That way, when I go to create a project, if I accidentally have the laser module positioned in the wrong spot, I won't damage my tabletop. Now, don't worry if you don't have the honeycomb that would come with that sheet metal, or you don't have a piece like I do. You can simply take some heavy-duty aluminum foil and just fold it over on itself, making sure that the dull side is facing up towards the laser module. The other thing that I have is an air assist pump, a third-party one, to go up to the laser module because it's all air assist ready. And I also have some very nice flexible air line to match. Now, I'm using stuff that I'm using around the shop here, but I'd really prefer, and I definitely recommend using the accessories from Genmitsu that you know are going to work perfectly with the Kortek machine. When I'm ready to connect up to the computer with that CutLabX software, I want to have the machine powered on and ready to run. I've got that taken care of, and now I can navigate over to CutLabX and start that up. And look at that. As soon as I started up the CutLabX software, it immediately connected up to the Kortek machine and homed the machine. I didn't have to click any buttons at all. And just like that, we're already connected to the machine. I don't think it can get any easier than that. Now, with as easy as that connected, I just want to throw out there that this computer, I run all my laser machines on it, and it already has all the USB drivers for connecting to virtually any laser machine out there. I do know that the Kortek machine, it does include the USB driver that is included on the SD card. That's right in the front. There is a card reader that is included with the machine, and this uses the software driver CH341. You might need to load that on your computer, or CutLabX might already have that built in and will automatically connect to your machine. Inside CutLabX, there's all these different projects. A lot of them are free. If we scroll down a little bit more, or we go on to other pages, we might see like this one here is going to be $50, or this dinosaur is going to be $10. But there's a lot of these that are also going to be free. For today's sample project, I'm going to be doing a graphic engraving on the included material. And for that, we're going to click to start creation off to the side here, and bam, we're already in the software. Let's go on a little guided tour here. On the left-hand side, I have a lot of my drawing tools and things that I can use to modify objects on the screen. Across the top, I also have some more menu items, mainly for aligning different shapes together. I can mirror them together. If I want to, I can actually add a third-party camera and have a vision system with CutLabX software. I drew a couple shapes in the work area just to make more sense when we take a look at the right-hand side of the screen. This is going to be all of our different layers, which we can find across the bottom here. Now, right now I've got blue, and it's going to show a little check mark saying that I have objects drawn on the blue layer, which is pretty cool. Now this, I can select the mode from being a line, which would be a line engraving, or if we slow the speed down and crank the power up, we can actually cut the shapes out. I can also fill or do a cross fill, which will do an engraving this way, and then it will go back and it will do it vertically. So some pretty nice options. Now, if I've got this circle here, and let's say I want to do this as an engraving, I'll simply click on a different layer at the bottom of the screen, let's say 02, and now I can come over here and tell it to do that as a fill, and then I have the different settings for that. Now, if I have yet a third different shape here that is currently set to engraving, but I want to engrave it at different settings, I'll just select that shape, and then I can put that one on a different layer, and maybe we'll put that on cross fill. So this is a very versatile software, and once again, it has kind of a look and feel a little bit to the paid version of Lightburn Software, and I think this software pairs perfectly well with this lower price, fun size machine. Got a lot of features out of CutLabX software, and I can create a ton of projects with free software. Now, speaking of creating some projects, I'm going to get rid of everything here. If I can select everything and delete it out, and I'm going to go and open my own graphic file here. I've imported one of my graphic files. We'll check it out. It is a fox sitting by a campfire drinking a cup of coffee. Now, I haven't used a 5-watt laser module for quite a while, so off the top of my head, I can't recall what settings would be good for use with the included materials. So for that, I'm going to turn back to the user guide and open up to the section that has all of the material settings. And let me check out the plywood here. Once I go over to the 5-watt laser module settings, and here plywood, I want power level of 80%. A speed of 5,000, which I've already got, and the line interval at 0.01, which is already in here. One thing that I am going to do is turn the overscan on just a little bit. I'll put that at just a couple of millimeters here. That overscan is going to be the extra distance once the machine is done engraving a single line. I'm going to give it that 3 millimeters for it to slow down before it comes to a complete stop. And of course, 3 millimeters for it to get up to speed before the laser starts turning on and finishing out the rest of the engraving. I like to do this on all laser machines because it's just simply a smoother motion and easier motion for the laser head, and it's much easier for the motors and the belts on the machine. With the settings selected for engraving the wood, the next thing I'm going to do is take a measurement off the size of this wood material, size my graphic appropriately, and I'm going to place the material inside of the work area of the machine, and I'm going to get the laser focus set. I also have some blue painter's tape, and in just a second we're going to see that I taped down my aluminum barrier plate that protects my work table so that doesn't move around during the project. And we're also going to see that I taped down the corners of my wood material so that too doesn't shuttle around while I'm making a project. Here's the blue painter's tape holding down the aluminum down to the table, and to get this squared up against the machine, I like to take something that is nice, straight, and flat. I'm going to place that up against the gantry frame like so. That looks good, and now I can push my material up against that, and now the work material is square up against the frame of the machine that the laser head is on. Cool little trick. I'll carefully place some more blue painter's tape on the work material. The last thing I'll need to do is flip down the little focus lever on the side of the eye-friendly shroud. Take the adjustment lever, loosen that up, and lower the laser head down until that little lever arm touches the work material. That looks good, and I'll flip that back up, and now the laser is in perfect focus down to the work material. With the material secured and the focus set, I can now hit the preview button and we'll watch the frame out of the laser over the work material. If I find that it's off a little bit, I can grab the graphic within the software and move it around until the laser is positioned correctly over the work material. This all looks good, and I think all I need to do is get some nice background music on, my safety glasses, and we'll watch a little video montage of this first sample project being made on the Kortek machine. About 12 minutes later and the project's all complete, and check out all of that detail that we have. I forgot the amount of detail that we get out of these 2.5, 5 watt and 10 watt laser modules. That laser dot is so small, the machine runs a little bit slower, and we get all of this phenomenal detail. So what do I think about the Kortek laser machine by Genmitsu, my first machine from that company? And overall, I have to say that I'm actually really impressed with it. From the price point of $179 US, free shipping, this is a basic fun size machine. When it's not in use, it stores easily out of the way until the next time I go to create a project just like the one that we saw in today's video. I also like that the different laser modules are interchangeable on the machine. So if I start out with like this machine with the 5 watt laser, and after a short amount of time, I think I want to do some thicker cutting and maybe do some deeper engraving, I always have that option of installing the 10 watt laser module. And if I'd like to start color marking stainless steel or marking hard plastics, I always have that other option of the 2 watt IR module. Now those are all things that I really like about the machine. A couple things that I'd like to see a little bit different is the website for the Kortek machine. It talks about the different software packages compatible with the machine. Those are all good software options. However, CutLabX is absent from the list on the website. It's only really mentioned in the user guide. And CutLabX, I know I keep bringing it up, but it really is a beginner-friendly software package that offers a lot of options for a lot of different types of projects and a lot of different types of machines. And that's just something I'd like to see pronounced a little bit more on the website, because I think that a lot of people might be missing out thinking that they have to use laser Grbl if they want to use their PC with some free software. And again, laser Grbl software, there's nothing wrong with it. It just has a little bit larger learning curve than, say, something like CutLabX. The other thing that I'd like to see is basically a bigger version of the Kortek machine. I believe there is an L8 machine that Genmitsu makes, and looking at the specs and the features, it looks absolutely amazing. It brings with it a lot more speed and a lot higher wattage laser modules coming in at 20 and 40 watts. Now the price tag also matches that too, and we go from this beginner-friendly machine up to that L8 that has a lot of performance and a lot of price. And I'd like to see a bigger version of the Kortek machine. So something with this lightweight framework with some different laser option modules, maybe topping out at about 30 or 40 watts, which would be a big step up from the 5 watt that I'm using right now, and just something with a bigger laser working space, if I can say that correctly. I think that would be something that would really fill the gap between the Kortek machine and the L8 by Genmitsu. Overall, I really like the performance and the value of the machine. I think this would be perfect for those who are just getting started with lasers and those who would be an occasional user. This would also be a great machine for a classroom setting for teaching the different types of technologies and softwares involved with machines moving around and creating projects. Thanks for joining me in this video. As usual, I had a blast creating today's content for all of you. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, show it some love by giving it a like, subscribe to the channel, or hit that share button. Not only is it a great way to help the laser channel grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. And until I see you again in the next video, I'm Greg from the Laser Channel, where we learn, create, and share.